Okay, guys, we are checking out another video. This one, Ross Gerber is a guest talking about Tesla's competition dying by the wayside. Subscribe, like the video. Let's go.
Growth strategy with Mr. Ross Gerber, who I know also, though, has been buying some T-bills, joining us this afternoon as well. So, Ross, where do you sit on that strategy right now? Buying dips more in Tesla or buying dips in bonds?
Both. I think, both are great opportunities. It just depends on your risk level. So it is a great time if you're an old investor who is focused on income. We haven't seen income levels, guaranteed rates this high in like 25 years on the 10-year. And, boy, 5% guaranteed by the government with inflation at 3% going lower is a great return for safety. But over the long term, the stock market's averaged 10% a year. So if you accept 5% a year and you're saving for a long-term goal like retirement, you're never going to reach your goal. So it's still not a good enough yield if I'm a young investor to choose a T-bill over Tesla, let's say, where over the long term, Tesla has tremendous growth opportunity. So I think for each investor, it's that balance between stocks and bonds. And that's what we do at Gerber Kawasaki, is really like determine your risk tolerance and build your portfolio around that.
What kind of risk tolerance does one have to have for Tesla right now? I think the chart's fascinating over the last 3 years. We've got the downtrend off the highs, but the uptrend off the lows. By my armchair technical analysis, so, Ross, it looks like we've got maybe a month before this thing's got to either break up or down. Which way you think it's going to go? I think I might already know.
Oh my God, technical analysis is... Oh my God. All right, I'm not even going to talk about that, but if you guys don't know, I buy Tesla stock every month when I get paid from YouTube. Just after the bills are paid, I buy stock every month. I've been doing the same thing since 2018, buying every single month. I don't care about dips and raises and small term. I'm in it for the long term, 10 years plus. So that's my strategy. Let me know. Do you guys have Tesla stock in the comment section? And what is your strategy on that?
Know the answer.
Well, I'm not going to tell you which way Tesla stock's going to go. I mean,
short term.
I wish I knew that for sure. But, we work around valuations, and Tesla's still one of the highest valued stocks in the market based off its forward PE ratio. Tesla has a lot of things going for it, like the Cybertruck launch, and a great article today in the Wall Street Journal about how the mega packs have really stabilized the electrical grid this summer and helped Texas and California avoid blackouts, and all the utilities that are investing in Tesla energy battery systems, which are just revolutionary our energy system. So I think long-term Tesla is an incredible investment. On the short term, Tesla has these headwinds with higher rates, retooling the factory. So I think if your goal is 1 to 2 months, I don't know about Tesla, but I think if your goal is over the next 3 to 5 years, Tesla is as good of an investment as ever, and it's just a high valued stock.
What do you?
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Short term ups and downs don't really matter for Tesla. They're gonna go up and down. I don't even care. I don't even look at it. I just, every month I buy more. Long term, it has so much going for it. The mega packs, full self-driving, the Cybertruck, the new Model 2 that's being built in Mexico, the whole world transitioning to EVs, how it doesn't make sense to buy a gas-powered car right now because EVs, there's no maintenance. You get the fuel is so much cheaper. You can charge it up at home. It's the safest car. It's the fastest car. It's got over-the-air updates. So there's so many things going for Tesla. A lot of people don't realize that yet, as you'll see in my comment section down below. If you're one of these people that are like me that realize that Tesla is the next big thing, just go look at the comment section in some of these videos that I post. A lot of people don't know. A lot of people are still convinced gas-powered cars are the future, that they're better than electric cars. It's shocking, but there's a lot of people that still believe that. So that's where Tesla comes in and how it's a big opportunity. The more people that don't get it, the bigger the opportunity is going to be. So it's kind of frustrating that people don't get it yet. Not everyone's like, oh yeah, they know. But it's a good investing opportunity because once everyone knows, then the stock is going to be through the roof already, and it'll be too late. But yeah.
Think about the note from Deutsche Bank's analyst about them coming up shy, maybe a couple 100,000 on deliveries for the year.
I mean, I think it's a waste of energy. Tesla's going to deliver 1.8 to 2 million cars. They're the dominant player in the EV space. And now with the Ford, plant on hold and, basically competitors sort of dying by the wayside here, Tesla's going to come out of this interest rate cycle in a stronger position than the other car companies, especially many of the EV competitors, which need capital. So the Fed is inadvertently helping, Tesla a lot in continuing its dominant position in the EV business. But worrying about a couple of 100,000 cars, this, that, this is a company that went from selling 100,000 cars a year 5 or 6 years ago to now almost 2 million and on track to, continue to grow at a 40-50% rate. So that's Tesla.
It's a fair point. And as far as Ford and GM go, I can't imagine that their situation doesn't help Tesla to some degree. Right. Any read on the workers at Tesla? I mean, is there any risk that this bleeds over there at all?
No.
No? Okay.
No, look, I'm not a big fan of unions for many reasons. If you work at Tesla, you might get paid less in dollars, but you get stock options. And when the company performs and goes up 1,500% in 4 or 5 years, those employees did extremely well at Tesla. It's pay for performance. Now, if you're got the same pay at Ford, the problem is Ford stock hasn't gone anywhere ever. So, Ford union members aren't saying give us stock. They're saying give us cash, and that's the difference between a really exciting growth company and an old industrial company that's on the throes of, sort of the end of its existence, So why wouldn't the union just take stock? Well, they don't want it,
Yeah.
Wow, Ross Gerber, man. I like that he, some of the things that I don't agree with, but I love that he's just like really open about it. Like they're an industrial company on the brink of extinction. It's true. Tesla has made a lot of employees millionaires because they offer them stock options in their pay. So their wages might not be as high as GM and Ford, but they get stock options. And if you are a worker for Tesla and you kind of do some research in the company and you see where it's going, you're going to love those stock options, and you're going to hear about all the millionaires that it's already made. If you're new to Tesla, you're working at the factory, you're working beside a guy and he's been there for 10 years, he's probably a millionaire by now. So he's made a lot, they've made a lot of their factory workers millionaires. So working for the company, seeing it do better, seeing that it's selling more cars every month, and you see the growth potential. You're one of the workers. You're getting stock. You're feeling motivated to go to work. That's what Ford and GM don't have. That they don't want the stock. The stock hasn't moved, so they want more money. But they were transitioning to EVs, and Ford and GM are in a very difficult position right now with these strikes, and just in general transitioning. Like they can't make a profit, so they're in a very, very bad situation right now, and the strikes are not helping.
Okay. One other thing you did say there, which is that the competition dying by the wayside, and I'm thinking about Elon's comments about how the strikes could drive Ford and GM into bankruptcy. He said something similar about Rivian's cash flow. I know you're not a Rivian hater by any means, but they just put in a display Rivian outlet right across the street from Tesla here in the Gold Coast, Chicago. So it kind of seems like maybe the truck side, perhaps Tesla might be losing the edge a bit.
Well, we haven't had the Cybertruck come out.
And it's not out yet.
I think
what are you talking about?
They're really, working really hard on, because people want Rivians here in LA. Rivians are selling very well in LA. Most Tesla owners are upgrading to Rivian trucks, if they want a truck, because they can't get a Cybertruck right now. And, so we're seeing Rivian do very well. I do look at them as a competitor to Tesla on the truck side, but I think there's enough room for obviously both companies to be wildly successful. But I'm very bullish on Rivian as a product, as a company, and because Elon's alienated so many Tesla owners, many are looking for other EVs to buy, and Rivian's been the direct beneficiary of Elon's X adventure. So Rivian is spending a lot of money, but we expect our cash flow numbers to improve, or cash flow losses to improve over the next year dramatically as they scale production. So I'm not counting Rivian out. I'm looking at the stock very closely in here. I do think they need to raise capital maybe one more time, but boy, what a great brand and company Rivian is.
Okay.
So yeah, Rivian, I think that they'll become profitable next year. I think they'll become profitable. So, but they need to raise money again. I think they already raised money, if I'm not mistaken, recently, but I'll have to look into that. I think they'll become profitable, but they are no they're not a competition for Tesla at all. They're just an alternative. Once the Cybertruck hits, once the hype of that truck goes around the world, and everyone's gonna want a Cybertruck. Rivian will still be around. They'll sell their trucks, and unfortunately, it's true what he said about Tesla alienating a lot of not a lot, a few people because of his Twitter stuff and the X stuff. There's some people that are like, I'd never buy a Tesla because I hate Elon. So if those people want a good electric truck, they're gonna buy a Rivian. But a lot of that's just bullshit. But yeah, that's what happens, man. Some people get offended by tweets, and they believe, you know, the mainstream media. They don't fully understand Elon, and they refuse to buy anything Elon because they want to impress their friends and virtue signal, all that stuff. But that's how it is. That's the reality of the world. So some people are like that, and those people are gonna buy Rivian stuff. But Rivian trucks are good. You know, they're pretty good. I've seen some bad reviews, but for the most part, I believe people are satisfied with the truck, and it isn't an alternative. But they're, again, Rivian, Ford, GM aren't making money on their EVs right now. So Rivian looks like the more they sell, they're getting closer to profitability. It's kind of moving up. So I think they'll be around, but they are not by any means are they the next Tesla. That's not what Rivian is trying to do. Rivian is just trying to make trucks, SUVs and pickup trucks. They're not trying to be a battery company, a software company, like a robo-taxi company building, you know, Tesla Rivian bots. They're not doing all that. They're just a car company. So they're not going to be like the next Tesla. I don't know about the stock, you know, maybe it'll go up a bit, but yeah, let's see.
For Tesla going into the end of the year, Ross, where do you see its connection overall to the economy? Because it seems like that we are getting some optimistic signs, but then we also just went through a period of price cuts, so it seems like Tesla is vulnerable at all. How bad do things have to get for them to start slashing prices again? What does that relationship look like to you?
I mean, if they slash prices again, I'm just going to I don't know, freak out, because it's like the lack of customer knowledge and understanding of the value proposition of the Model Y today is just amazing. And the fact that Tesla's done very little, they've done some advertising, but very little in aggressively courting new customers is really a huge mistake that Tesla's been making. And it's caused a lot of pain unnecessarily versus investing $20 or $30 million on an education campaign on television to teach people about EVs. But if you ask any young person who doesn't own an EV why they don't, you will hear ridiculous answers, you know? So we've got to educate the public, because there's still, I don't know, another 200 million vehicles on the road to replace with EVs just in the United States alone. So the market's massive, but nobody knows about it. And that's the problem. You know, nobody's on X in real life. You know, that's a very small audience compared to the amount of people watching Monday Night Football.
So yeah, there's big controversy. As you guys know, a lot of you that watch this channel also watch Stephen Mark Ryan, and he's a big believer in not advertising. I'm kind of on the fence about it, because when I in real life, like he's saying, when I talk to people about EVs, they know nothing about EVs. And even look at the comment section here. People think that their range sucks, that their quality is not good, that they break down, that the batteries die within 5 years. Like, there's all these myths out there. And he's right about, if you're on Twitter, you're on YouTube, most people that watch these videos were in this bubble, right? We think everyone knows about Tesla, but it's not like that. If you go down the street and talk to your neighbor, they know nothing about EVs. And having an educational campaign, just like a quick, you know, videos on, you know, look at the safest cars in the world, look at the list, you know, it's Model 3 and Model Y, 2 safest cars in the world. That's one. Boom. Another little video could be the range compared to a regular car, you know. Boom. There's another one. Another one could be the fuel cost savings. Another one could be the maintenance, show how much you'll save in maintenance. How often do you have to interview a couple people? I've had a Model 3 for 5 years. I've never had any maintenance on it. I've never done an oil change. So, interview people like that, a quick video like that. The full self-driving, the 0 to 60 time. There's a bunch of things. Like, my dad thought EVs were slow. He thought they were like, he had no idea how fast the EVs are. And he's the guy, Monday Night Football guy. Like, he has no idea. So there is some truth to that. And I wonder if they would just do a campaign for 3 months, see if that does anything. Do like an aggressive campaign for 3 months, educational campaign, like he's saying, on these things that if you're in this echo chamber, you would think everyone knows about EVs, but they don't. So do a little campaign. If it doesn't work, if there's no increase, then forget about it. Don't do it again. But yeah, I'm kind of on the fence. Where you guys sit on that? Do you think they should advertise? Do you think what kind of advertisements should they do? I think an educational advertising campaign would be very beneficial, showing some charts and stats about Teslas, and it doesn't have to be long. It can just be like, quick things. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. I'm kind of on his side about this. I think that we should try it out, not just little like Google ads like they're doing. A television campaign on the benefits of having an EV compared to a gas-powered car. I think that would be a very interesting experiment. Wouldn't be too costly. But as far as everything else, this interviewer, he's always been about the short term. He's always like, what's Tesla going to do tomorrow? The stock. And it's kind of frustrating. I've been watching him for a long time, and he's always like, what's it going to do tomorrow? Well, what are your thoughts on the stock tomorrow? What's going to happen? And all the Tesla guests are like, I don't know, but long term it's going to be good. So he'll always be like that. But yeah, check out the next video. It's going to pop up soon. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. We're trying to hit 1,000 subs here. Like the video and leave your comments on your thoughts down below.